Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick. It's time to check out another Z590 board. This is the one that you guys wanted to see the most, especially in our comments. You guys are like, hey, when are you having a look at the Vision boards? Here it is, the Z590 Vision G, not the Vision D, don't get them confused. They are slightly different. So without further ado, let's take a little bit of a closer look. And remember, ladies and gents, our motherboard videos are not reviews. As I mentioned in this video, this is not a review, this is just an overview so you can take a look at all of the features on the board and what physically comes in the box when you buy a brand new Z590 Vision G from Gigabyte. So without further ado, let's get it unboxed and take a bit of a closer look. Alrighty ladies and gents, time to check out the Z590 Vision G from Gigabyte. But first off, we need to take the motherboard out of the box so we can take a bit of a closer look at all the things that come with this board. But spoiler alert, there's actually not that much stuff that comes with this board at all. First up, we've got a set of screws for the 4 M.2 slots that are on this board, which we'll be taking a look at a little bit later on in the video. There's also 4 SATA or SATA cables for your 2.5-inch SSDs or your spinning rush drives. There's this odd plastic device which I thought we were finally rid of. However, Gigabyte found it in their hearts to bring it back from the dead, so here it is. It's a round bit of plastic. You can either put your cup on it or you can buy some ancient type of storage device that doesn't exist anymore to use it. I don't know why you would do that. There's also the manual. Now the manual is really good if you've never built a PC before, or if you have built plenty of PCs. It basically just shows you what everything is on the board, where it is, where to plug stuff in, and how to change things in the BIOS. Pretty handy if you ask me. And last but not least is this. Now this is a little microphone. Now this microphone's job is to listen to the acoustics inside of your case and adjust the fans accordingly. Cool and clever bit of tech, but you know what time it is? It's time to unsheath that Z590 Vision G so we can take a bit of a closer look at all the features and all the things that are all over this board. If you guys are ready for it, I'm about to take you for a ride. Let's jump right in, mate. There's the front panel audio header for your case if you wanted to use the headphone jack at the front of your PC. There's also an LED demo header. There's a 5-volt 3-pin addressable RGB header and a 12-volt 4-pin analog RGB header. There's a serial port header, a TPM header, 2 USB 2.0 headers for things like AIO coolers and RGB controllers, a Q flash button for flashing your BIOS, 3 PWM fan connectors, and last but not least, the front panel connectors for your lights and your switches to let you know that your system's on. There's a set of Thunderbolt headers, but you need to use a Thunderbolt add-in card to use these headers. There's 6 SATA or SATA ports for 2.5-inch SSDs or spinning rush drives. There's a USB Type-C front panel header. There's a USB 3.0 header or USB 3.2 header for Type A. And there's a 24-pin power connector to send all of that juice to your brand new 10th or 11th gen CPU. There's another 3-pin 5-volt addressable RGB header and a 12-volt 4-pin RGB header. There's a collection of PWM fan headers for things like your AIO pump and your CPU fans. There's a chunky heatsink for that VRM. And there's an 8-pin EPS power connector and an additional 4-pin supplemental EPS power connector as well. For PCIe slot layout, the top slot is a by 16 Gen 4 slot, then we've got a by 8 slot, and then a by 4 slot down the bottom. Because this is a Z590 board, it features Intel's Z590 chipset that supports Intel's 11th and 10th gen CPUs. I don't actually have any information about the VRMs on this board, but judging by the layout and the Pro AX, this looks like the exact same layout. So I'm going to say it's a 16+1 phase VRM setup with 90 amp power stages. It's got the same heatsink that's on the Z590 Pro AX as well. So yeah, it's looking like it's almost the same board, except with those Vision heatsinks and the white accents. Because this is a Z590 board, it features Intel's LGA 1200 socket, which also supports 11th and 10th gen CPUs. You will not need to update the BIOS to use an older CPU or the latest CPUs. All of them should work right out of the gate. If we flip the board over, you can see that there's not a whole lot going on here. Pretty standard for these kind of creator focused motherboards, because that's who they're really focusing this board at, is content creators. Alright, it's time to pull off the heatsink so we can take a look at that M.2 slot configuration. There's 4 slots in total, as I mentioned a bit earlier in the video, but something quite interesting going on here. As mentioned, there are 4 M.2 slots on this board. The top 3 are PCIe Gen 4, and they will also run in PCIe Gen 3 modes as well. However, I suspect the top slot will not actually work in Gen 3. There are some issues with Z490 with that, so I'm gonna say we're gonna see the same thing here. And the bottom M.2 slot is connected straight up to the chipset, and that is PCIe Gen 3 only. It also supports SATA or SATA M.2 drives as well. It's got 4 DDR4 RAM slots, which support a total of 128 gigs of RAM, and much like the Pro AX that we checked out as well, it also supports unbuffered ECC memory. However, ECC will be disabled if you do decide to use ECC modules on this board. If we take a look at I/O, we've got some USB 2.0 ports, a PS2 port, some USB 3.2 ports, there's a DisplayPort 1.2 port, and HDMI 2.0B port. There's more USB 3.2, there's also USB Type-C, there's 2 of those in total. There's 2.5 gigabit Ethernet, which is now pretty much standard on most new boards, and there's also a built-in audio interface. However, it doesn't have SPDIF or optical out, which I think is a little bit odd for a content creation focused motherboard. But you know what time it is, ladies and gents. Alright ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed this first look and overview of the Gigabyte Z590 Vision G. Now I just want to address something. We get lots of questions all the time on all of our Vision motherboard content, whether or not you can use these content creation focused motherboards for gaming. The answer is yes. Yes, of course, you can game on basically anything. You can game on a Raspberry Pi if you want, you can game on your phone, so there's really nothing stopping you from using this as for a gaming PC, especially if you're after that white and silver aesthetic, which leads me into one thing I really want to talk about as well. This one actually spells it silver, not sliver. We got the Z490 Vision G and they wrote sliver on the top heatsink, which turned into a little bit of a meme on Instagram. I thought that was kind of funny. What do you reckon, Claire? Yeah. I like a sliver covered, sliver colored motherboard. I don't know what I'm saying. Sliver of silver. Guys, availability, I got no idea. Don't know when they're coming. I have no idea about the pricing, but another stab in the dark like last time. I'm going to say this one is probably going to go for about, I'm going to say, let's guess, 279 USD or around 300 USD, somewhere in that ballpark. In Australian dollars, I'm going to say 469 to 539, somewhere in there that this board will go for. I think it might be a little bit cheaper because it negates Wi-Fi and stuff like that as well, which, yeah, I thought a board like this might have Wi-Fi, but yeah, it clearly does not have it. So yeah, if you want a Wi-Fi motherboard, don't buy this one because yeah, it doesn't have it. And what am I talking about? I'm just rambling now. Alright ladies and gents, I don't know how to end this video, so if you enjoyed the video, smash the like button. If you hate it, hit the dislike button twice. If you want the music, I make all the music. It's available over on Patreon. Want to get early access to little ditties like this one right here? Check us out over on Floatplane. Yes, we're on Floatplane. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your extremely tired boy, Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek, and saddle up ladies and gents. There's plenty more Z590 to come at you. Here's some bonus Z590 for your eye holes. What else we got? There's also this little baby as well. What else we got? I don't know, there's more hiding here. Also remember guys, we have a giveaway still going for like another week or something of this. That giveaway is still going. So if you want it, it's still up for grabs. Also, stop asking about when it's going to be drawn and stuff because you'll know. People have made it this far. Thinking about giving away a 3060 Ti as well.
Ooh.
If people watch this part of the video, we should tell them a secret.
Oh, that we're getting a real life cat shirt.
A real life cat. If you guys don't know, Pork Chop and Big Cat aren't actually our cats. They're just like two cats that live in the neighborhood who just started rocking up here for like years and years and years, and they basically called our home their home. And that's the truth. That's why they haven't been on the channel, because they haven't been here since like the start of December, basically. They're not our cats. However, we just adopted a cat. And yeah, stay tuned for that. We haven't got her yet, but
Look at
it was a whole process.
You're
like
rude.
it took us a little while, but
She chose us.
she chose us. And I'll give you a little story of her. She's a 6-year-old Bengal, and her name's Bindi, and she wasn't wanted by her original family, and we wanted her. We want to look after her and give her an amazing life. She'll love our house, and we met her, and she's cute, and she really, really likes me. I hope she still likes me, even when she lives here. But yeah, we will have a cat really soon. I'm actually kind of excited. It's kind of why I've been a bit weird and like, because I can't stop thinking about the cat, because she's really cute. She's a little Bengal.
Were you like this before we got married? Like leading up to our wedding?
No. Not at all. But she's like a spotty little Bengal. She's cute. She's really tiny. She's a little baby. And I'm fairly certain that she'll like sitting on the table when I'm doing videos.
Possibly.
So yeah, she's kind of like that cat who likes like sitting in places, and I think she'll be okay sitting on the table as I build PCs and stuff.
We need a cat shelf
I need a cat shelf.
in the studio.
I should go. This is
Yeah.
going on for way too long.
Probably.
3060 Ti giveaway in the next week or two.
You should be one of those racehorse announcer guys or an auctioneer that are like,
We should do 3060 Ti, right?
We'll give some away.
We'll give some away.
We need to keep a couple.
We know it's been hard for you guys to get GPU, so we do want to like give back to you guys. 3060 Ti next week.
Stop doing that.
Oh,
It's really annoying.
there's no motherboard in there.
Yeah, but it's really annoying.
There's no motherboard in there.
But the sound's really
I
annoying.
haven't even opened this yet. There's no motherboard in there.
That's really cute.
Here's the ITX one.
What are we going to use that for?
Hey, what are we going to use that for? Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.